Well, a young troupe of musicians is making sure some Corpus Christi middle schoolers deal with sensory disorders still get a chance to experience the Russian Renaissance. Children dealing with that disorder can sometimes have a negative reaction to loud noises and bright lights, which makes going to concerts difficult. But the performers say they don't want to let that stop them from experiencing Russian folk music. So they gave the students a concert catered to them.
They'll talk to them a little bit about what they're hearing, what they're seeing, and it gives them an opportunity to even ask questions. And so it's totally different than sort of a normal concert setting.
And performers with the Russian Renaissance will be on stage again tonight for their full performance. Tickets are still available. For more information on how you can get yours, just visit our website.